The sky is not just a place for wings. It is a place where every mistake can cost a life. There are predators that can silently observe from a great distance, patiently waiting just to unleash a single strike. And when that moment appears, there will be no chance to turn back. Hidden behind powerful wingspans are hunting tactics honed through millions of years of evolution. And today, you yourself will witness them. Eagles are among the birds of prey at the top of the food chain in the sky. Their eyes can clearly see prey from kilometers away, even while flying at high altitudes. The vision of this bird is many times sharper than humans, allowing them to detect even the slightest movements on the ground. They often utilize thermal updrafts to soar for hours, almost without flapping their wings. An eagle's talons are curved and extremely strong, designed to pierce through thick skin and tightly pin down prey. Once tightly gripped by the talons, it is very difficult for the victim to escape because their crushing force is immense. The sharp curved beak is not used to kill prey, but primarily to tear off chunks of meat. Some species specializing in hunting fish possess feet covered with many small spicules that help hold firmly onto slippery fish. They can lock their toes right after catching prey, helping to maintain a tight grip without expending too much energy. Golden eagle versus hare. The golden eagle is always one of the assassins holding mastery of the sky. Amidst mountain peaks and desolate snow-covered lands, they relentlessly scour their borders. A hare, cloaked in a pure white coat, has fallen into its sights. The lightning-fast pursuit immediately erupts. The hare goes all out to accelerate and escape. However, the tenacity and aerial combat art of the golden eagle have created the difference. A decisive dive immediately erases all distance. The violently forceful collision officially puts an end to the survival effort. Eagle versus coot. The winter frost turns the lake surface into a cold, dead zone. Amidst the bone-chilling water, a flock of coots crowds and huddles together. From high above, a bald eagle is silently scanning. Possessing vision many times keener than humans, this apex assassin gently locks onto a sickly target right below. Gliding just above the water surface, the bald eagle deploys its talons covered in anti-slip spicules to snatch the victim alive, using its muscle force to cleanly lift the prey straight into the air.
But things go wrong. Eagles fill the sky.
However, the real difficulty has not yet concluded. Other aggressive bald eagles unexpectedly rush in to commit robbery. A heated aerial dogfight over the prize ensues, causing the prey to drop straight down into the water. Eagle versus hen. An eagle swoops down, aiming to snatch a tender brood of chicks alive, but it made a fatal mistake in underestimating the ferocity of the hen. The hen immediately spreads her wings wide, using her beak and spurs to violently counterattack the assassin. Despite being seasoned hunters from various territories whenever they set foot in the hen's area, the received outcome is always the same. In the harsh wild, the burning desire to protect one's bloodline is exactly the motive that unleashes the most brutal strength. The clash turns into a fierce struggle right in front of the shelter's entrance. Although the hunter luckily grabbed the target for a moment, it completely failed to foresee the terrifying explosion of maternal love. In contrast to the hen's endless tenacity, the sky assassin had to bow its head in defeat right in the middle of the vertical dirt cliff. Eagle versus goose. Amidst the calm lake surface, the tyrant of the sky dives headfirst like a bullet, triggering a lightning-fast ambush. Nevertheless, the goose managed to activate its defensive reflex diving instantly, just a millisecond before the talons tore through the water surface. But the goose is not a species that can hold its breath underwater for long. The eagle continuously flies in circles, delivering additional dives every time the goose has to surface for air. The decisive moment has arrived. Just as the prey surfaces in exhaustion, the eagle unleashes a fatal strike, reaffirming its cold-blooded throne atop the wild food pyramid. Vulture. Likened to creation's great scavenging machine, the vulture bears a vital mission in purifying the entire ecosystem. Not bearing a majestic appearance or possessing a set of lethal talons like the eagle, this carrion-eating bird leaves its mark with extremely bizarre body structures. The bald head allows them to comfortably thrust deep into rotting piles of meat without fear of bacteria clinging to them. The most terrifying thing, is that the vulture's stomach acid has a concentration dozens of times stronger than that of humans. This characteristic turns them into a biological incinerator, more than capable of destroying and crushing the most dangerously lethal pathogens on the planet. Vultures rarely hunt healthy prey themselves, but primarily seek out dead animal carcasses. They can detect carcasses from very far away, thanks to their extremely sharp vision while soaring in the sky. Some species even observe the movements of other vultures to quickly find the food source. Upon approaching a carcass, vultures often form a clear hierarchy to compete for the most favorable eating position. Large and strong individuals usually get to stand in front to snatch the food, while smaller individuals have to wait for a chance to squeeze in. They are even ready to compete over carcasses with eagles if the opportunity arises. Although eagles possess superior talons and hunting abilities, a large group of vultures can still exert pressure, forcing them to leave. Clashes between the two species rarely prolong into actual combat, but are primarily displays of intimidation and competition for the right to access food. Skua versus penguin. Skuas have never survived through diligence, but they live parasitically on the terror of other bird species. Possessing rippling muscle mass, along with wings carrying horrifying thrust, they do not purely hunt, but also recklessly lunge at larger creatures to plunder flesh and blood. Although not having a giant stature, the skua still frantically pounces on any enemy that dares to step into the forbidden zone, including humans or oversized birds of prey. In the Antarctic ice strip, the skua is exactly the most terrifying Grim Reaper to penguins. Arranged in a formation with thousands of individuals tightly woven together, the penguin population seems to have erected an impenetrable fortress of flesh. And yet skuas, these sharp-eyed vagabonds, just wait for exactly a millisecond of an opening to tear through that solid defense line. The tender penguin chicks are immediately uprooted from the flock's shield and have to suffer brutal executions from the cold-blooded gang. Utilizing a pair of supremely swimming webbed feet, they even drag victims out to deep water to drown them. But luckily, an adult penguin rushed in just in time to intervene and save the little life. The young individual has preserved its life and is escorted back to the embrace of its family. What you have just witnessed is only a very small part of the fierce battle for survival in the sky. Every successful hunt comes not only from strength, but also from patience calculation and the ability to seize the opportunity in just one single moment.
But not for long.
That is also the reason why the rulers of the sky are not always the strongest species, but the ones that know how to best utilize opportunities. If you want to continue exploring spectacular hunts and other fierce confrontations of the wild world, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next videos. Thank you for accompanying to the end. See you in the next journey of exploring nature.